Hey everybody, what's up? So just as we thought we were getting used to Power Automate and where all the buttons were and how to create some basic flows, Microsoft had to go and change some stuff. So today what we're going to do is walk through a basic use case of how to build a Power Automate flow, and along the way I will talk about where some of those changes are. So let's jump right in.
To get started, I have navigated to the Power Automate homepage. In the left-hand navigation menu, you will see the option to create a new flow. For today's example, we're going to create a flow that takes information from Microsoft Forms and sends it to Microsoft Lists. This type of flow is called an automated cloud flow, which is triggered by a designated event. In our example, that is when a new response is submitted to the Microsoft form. The next thing you'll want to do is give the form a name, otherwise Microsoft will assign a generic one. It's much easier to stay organized in Power Automate if you set up your own names. With that done, all I need to do is click Create. Now that we have added the trigger, we are on the Power Automate canvas. This is where you may notice the first significant change. The new canvas looks a little bit different, and the Copilot pane on the right is giving you hints as to what you need to do next in order to make this flow work. As of right now, if you go to the upper right-hand corner, you will see the option to turn the new designer off and go back to the classic view. But for this demonstration, we do want to get used to the new designer, so I'm going to switch back. So now we have our forms trigger on our blank canvas. And one of the things that you will see here that's different is that you don't see the drop down to add the parameters. Instead, we need to click on the card and the options are going to open up from the left-hand side of the screen. Now we can see the drop down that allows us to tell Power Automate which form it should be listening for. If you click the drop down, you will see any personal forms you have created. You will not see group forms. Here is where I have a tip to share. If you need to use a group form, go to Microsoft Forms, find the one you want to use in this automation, then look at the URL for the design ID. Copy everything after the equal sign until the end of the URL. Then you will come back to Power Automate and paste the ID in the Form ID field as a custom value. To make this demonstration easier, I created a personal form so that we can just select it from the drop-down menu. So that's all we need to set up our trigger. Now we need to tell Power Automate what to do when someone clicks a response by clicking the plus sign to add an action to the flow. A pane opened up on the left where you can search a list of connectors. With forms, the second action will always be Get Response Details, and I happen to see the connector towards the bottom of our screen. But if you don't see it on your list right away, use the search field to narrow down the list. Now the Forms connector is at the top of the page and the only option is Get Response Details, which I'm going to select. In the Form ID field, I'm going to select the exact same form I used in the first step. What we're basically doing here is saying when somebody submits a form, gather up all of the details and then do something with it. So how do we gather up those details? That is by using the response ID. Now, you're never going to know exactly what the response ID is because it's unique for every single submission. This is where dynamic content is going to come in. Click on the little lightning bolt so that we can gather the data from the previous step. Now you see the response ID option, and we're going to insert it into our flow, and that's all we need for the second step. Now we need to tell Power Automate what it needs to do with those details, so we're going to click on Add an Action one more time. In our scenario, I want to send the information to a Microsoft list. Now lists are built on SharePoint, so in the search box, I am going to type SharePoint. We see the top 3 SharePoint choices, but none of them are what I'm looking for, so I'm going to click on See More to look at the entire list. And towards the bottom of the screen, we see Create Item. And the reason I'm choosing that is every entry into a list is considered an item, and I want Power Automate to make a new entry every time a forms response is submitted. The first thing I need to do is tell Power Automate which SharePoint site the list is associated with by clicking the drop-down for site address. In this example, it's my information hub. Now that I've narrowed it down to just that one SharePoint site, Power Automate is only going to allow me to pick from the 3 that are associated with it. Here's another tip for you. When I'm creating a form and a list that I know I'm going to connect with Power Automate, I like to have the names be either the same or similar so I can quickly identify which one I need. Now we've addressed the 2 mandatory fields as identified by the red asterisks. However, we're not done here. For this, we're going to need to look at some advanced parameters. I'm going to click on Show All so that we can see our options. On the list, I have created a column that matches each of the questions on the Microsoft form. Another thing you need to know is that the first column of any list is always going to be called Title. While you can change that name in the list view, it's still going to be called Title in Power Automate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in the field, go to the lightning bolt for dynamic content, and then tell Power Automate to put the employee full name in the title column. The reason Power Automate can pull in the dynamic content of employee name and the rest of the fields that I'm going to add is because of the get response details action we used earlier. So I'm going to continue using the dynamic content by clicking on the lightning bolt and pull in employee email address and action value. Once again, when I'm working with forms and lists, I try to use the same naming conventions to make them easy to match up. Now, technically, this flow is done to meet our stated goal of taking information from a Microsoft form and sending it to a SharePoint list. However, I'm going to add one more step, and that is going to make Power Automate send an email letting me know every time a forms response is submitted. Now, depending on the type of license that your company has purchased for you, forms may already be sending you this information. But there are people like me who work for companies who don't have the automatic email from forms. So I'm going to need the Office 365 Outlook connector using Send an Email version 2 in Power Automate to get to the same result. In the To field, you can put a single name, multiple names, or distribution lists, whatever makes sense for your business process. In the subject line, you can type anything that makes sense for you, including information from the dynamic content. And then in the body of the message, you can also use dynamic content combined with some static text to create a custom message. So for example, in this case, I want to grab the employee's name from forms and then put in a simple message saying, hey, they've submitted a request, please take care of this. Your message can be as long or as short as you need it to be. So for this simple flow, we now have all of our steps, which are trigger it when a forms response is received, gather up all the details, create an item on a SharePoint list, and also send an email. Now all I need to do is save my work and test the flow. Now, I always suggest that you test your flows because this is how you find mistakes. In this case, I'm going to test the flow by submitting a forms response on another screen, and then you will see that the flow has begun running, and you'll see a check mark appear next to each step when it is successful. I can quickly verify that by going to lists and refreshing the screen, and here are my results. Then I can quickly jump to Outlook, and we can see that the email result is accurate and it pulled in the name as I asked it to. So now we're done with our demonstration of a practical use case for Power Automate, and along the way, we took a look at the new design canvas. The big takeaway is instead of the drop-downs being right there in the center of the screen, you're going to find them hidden in the slide-out pane on the left.